We are 14-4 over the last week in the channel. And guess what? We finished 3-0 yesterday. I've got 3 more winners for you, 2 totals, 1 plus money line parlay today's video. So make sure you stay tuned for the free 3. Let's go. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living, back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make some money. Like I mentioned earlier, we went 3-0 yesterday. A sweet baby. Let's go. That's how we want to start off the month of February. We cashed it on the Oregon spread last night. Love to see it. Knicks and Pacers under. Hey, listen, that game started off like it was going to go over. So I told you if you wanted to wait till the game started, you could have grabbed it. I grabbed it at 244 alongside the 238 number I gave out. So you had multiple opportunities to grab that under. And then we also got that App State Hofstra moneyline parlay as Hofstra hit a shot at the buzzer, man. It's great to be on the right side of a buzzer beater for one. So 3-0 on the day. You could see our year-to-date record right here. 3-0 for the month of February. Hey, new month, new start. Let's go. Let's continue to heat up. If I've been making you some money, make sure you drop a like on this video and share this with somebody who you know is a sports bettor, man. I just don't know what I need to do to get more views on the channel. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. If anybody's a YouTube expert, let me know so I can get these videos out to more people, because we are cashing out here on the channel. So I appreciate all the love and support for the people who do show up consistently and watch the videos, man, and the people who are inside my Twitter DMs and everything. I appreciate all the love that you guys give, man. I really do. Now let's dive into these best bets. For my first best bet of the day, we are going to go to the NBA hardware. Now, yesterday we took an under in the NBA, but today we're going to go a little different. We're going to go with an over here, and we are going to start it off with this Hawks and Suns matchup, and we're going to go over 248.5 minus 110 odds. Now, the analysis is real simple here. Have you guys watched the Hawks play this year? Yeah, they don't play any defense. They're absolutely god-awful on defense, but guess what? They can score the ball. They're actually third in the NBA in points per game, averaging over 120 points per game. The Suns aren't too bad themselves, averaging about 116 points per game. That puts them about 12th in the NBA, so you love to see that. Now, for me, I just think that this is a matchup where we're going to see a ton of offense. Why? Because we're finally getting the big three for the Suns completely healthy. I mean, they've been facing injuries all year. We had Devin Booker play a little bit, then had to sit out. Bradley Beal missed the first few games. Kevin Durant missed a few games. But now, finally, the big three for the Suns are finally finding their rhythm. They're finally getting it together. And we saw that last game in that return for Brooklyn for Kevin Durant, where they scored over 130 points in that game in that win. And I think that we should see something very similar from this offense today against a Hawks team that's actually ranked second to last in the NBA in points allowed, giving up over 123 points per game. Now, the Hawks at home have been an over machine. They've actually gone over in 4 straight games. They're 15-8 to the over at home and 26-20 to the over overall this season. The Suns have not been as an over machine as you would expect with the the offensive power that they have. When you hear Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, you expect to obviously smash the over button and just cash, but it hasn't really been that way. But I mentioned that's really because of the injuries, the continuity, the different people coming in and out of the lineups. But now that they're finally starting to get healthy, I think that we can now start seeing a little bit more overs with them, and I really like this over today. The Suns are 24-24 to the over and under, so pretty even split, but they're only 10-13 to the over on the road, but they did go over in their last game, like I mentioned, against Brooklyn. So my analysis is real simple today. The Hawks don't really stop anybody. The Suns have the offensive power to really get off against this Hawks team, and then also keep in mind that I think Trae Young might have a little bit of incentive behind him now that he got snubbed for that All-Star yesterday. So maybe he might turn up, dish out about 12, 15 dimes, maybe add in 25, 30 points apiece. Dejounte Murray's still playing pretty hard as he's on the trade block right now, so his name keeps coming up in trade rumors. So I think this is an opportunity for these teams to really ball out here. And like I said, we've seen overs happen several times for this Hawks team. The grand over 248 against their last matchup at home against the Lakers, and they don't even have the offensive firepower that the Suns do. They went over 240 against the Raptors. Again, another team that doesn't have the offensive firepower that the Suns do. They went over 246 against Dallas. That was the game where Luka dropped like 70 on their head. They went over 235 at Golden State. So for me, I think this is just a matchup today where the Suns are going to be able to score some buckets. I'm not overthinking it. I'm not going too crazy. Just the Suns should be able to score buckets. The Hawks have to show me they can stop by somebody, and they haven't all year. So give me the over 248.5. I know it's a high number, but if there's any team that could put up these numbers, it's both of these guys. So give me the over in this matchup today. For my second best bet of the day, I'm going to go back to that Pacers team, and I'm going to go to that Pacers and Kings matchup. Now, yesterday I told you, if you tapped into the channel, how good the Pacers have been as a home team to the over, right? And that makes sense. They've been absolutely flying over this total at home, but on the road, they're more of an under team. Well, guess what? They're home now. So you know where I'm going, right? The over? Nope, 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 nope. I'm actually going to go to the under 248.5. So the same number, just going under minus 110 odds here. So you're probably saying to yourself, no, but why would you take the under on the Pacers when they're 17-8 to the over at home? Well, I think that we're getting this number a little bit inflated here because the books have not adjusted to the fact that Halliburton is not all the way back. Not only is this the second night on the back-to-back for the Pacers because they played in New York last night and now they're flying back home to Indiana, but also this is a line that you would expect when Halliburton's playing 35-40 minutes a game. Since he's came back from that hamstring injury, he's only played about 25 minutes. He only played about 25 last night, 22 minutes against the Knicks, and against the Celtics the same amount of time. So for me, I just think that this line is just a little bit inaccurate because we're getting the number as though the Pacers team is fully healthy and they're running their usual rotation, which they're not right now. But then when you also keep in mind, when you look at this Kings team, you're like, well, no, well, this Kings team can score the ball. They're top 10 in points per game. They're 14-8 to the over at home, but on the road is when they slow things down. They dribble the ball a lot. They deflate the air out of the ball. They try to go really slow on the road. They're 7-17 to the under on the road, and actually 21-25 to the overall under this year as well. So for me, I think this is a matchup that favors the Kings because the Pacers are not all the way healthy, because Halliburton's not all the way back just yet, and the Kings are favored in this matchup. I do think they win this game, and for me, I think that the Kings, if they're going to win this game, they're going to slow down the tempo. They're not going to get into a shootout, and we saw that in yesterday's matchup with the Knicks, with the Pacers, that they can start off games fast, running and gunning, but then sooner or later, when things start slowing down, it gets really hard for them to score in that half-court offense, and I think it's still taking some time for Siakam to get adjusted to the offense. Buddy Hield hasn't been shooting the ball as well. They're getting more guys involved, you know, Naismith, Toppin. For me, this is a total that's just way too high, especially against a Kings team that has trended towards the under consistently on the road, and the Pacers have also gone under in 2 of their last 3, and the Kings have gone under in 4 of their last 5 games. So I'm just going to continue to ride the trends that we've been seeing. This number's too inflated, especially if Halliburton doesn't play a lot of minutes. Second out of a back-to-back for the Pacers, who played a really tough game against the Knicks last night, and that game was really physical. I don't know if you guys watched that game live. I mean, the refs were barely calling anything. They were getting knocked up and down. So for me, I think that this is going to be more of a slower-paced game. So give me the under 248.5 in this matchup between the Kings and the Pacers. For my third and final best bet of the day, you guys know I love those money line parlays, so I'm going to go with a one that gets you the plus money value here. But instead of 2 teams, because we just have a really short slate here in the college basketball, we're going to combine 3 teams today, and we're going to go with the Warriors on the money line, we're going to go with the Heat on the money line, and then we're going to throw Kent State on the money line as well inside of this one. Now, you can play around with some other teams like Iowa if you want to throw them in there on the money line. There's a few other games in the NBA that you can take a look at and throw in there as well. You know, be my guest to play around with some of these teams. I like all 3 of these teams today, so let's break down each one of these teams real fast. First, the Warriors. The Warriors takes on the Grizzlies, and I really like the Warriors in this matchup, and I really like the Warriors, truthfully, going on through the rest of the regular season. If you tuned into the channel maybe like a week or so ago, I told you how I'm probably going to be backing the Warriors more times than not because they're really in playoff mode now. And I know we're not in playoff time yet, but sitting at 20-24 as a record for the Warriors, and they find themselves currently 5th in the Pacific Division, they they have to win these games to really get back into that play-in conversation. But I think right now with this Warriors team, with all the injuries that they've had, all the suspensions, they have to win these big games. And I know this is not like a big game against the Grizzlies, but it's a big game because this is a very beatable opponent. Coming off that win against the 76ers, and yes, I know Joel Embiid left that game injured, it's still a big win for that Warriors team. They came off that double overtime loss to the Lakers. I think that this is a Warriors team that is trying to figure it out, trying to get back on pace, especially after the Draymond Green suspension, and then also those 2 delayed missed games because of their assistant coach dying. I think this is just another quality game for the Warriors to pick up a much-needed road win against a Grizzlies team that just absolutely sucks. They're decimated with injuries, so Warriors should be able to get it done. And I'm just going to keep backing the Warriors in spots where they have to pick up some of these games because they cannot afford to drop any more games, especially the teams like the Grizzlies, because they play in that tough Pacific Division, and you know they're going to be going against teams like the Clippers, the Lakers, the Kings, and that tough Western Conference there. Now, also speaking about teams that need to turn it around, the Miami Heat are right there in that conversation. They finally snapped that huge losing streak that they were on. I mean, what, they lost like 6, 7, 8 games in a row there at one point? Absolutely ridiculous, right? But they finally got that last dub against the Kings in their last matchup to end that losing streak, so you love to see it. Now they're on the road against the Wizards, who are 9-38 on the year. Heat are 25-23. The Heat need to win this game, okay? After losing so many games in a row, and Terry Rozier now on that team, they really have to start figuring it out. They really want to start getting that momentum going into the All-Star break and then heading into the backstretch of the season. So for me, I think this is a game that they don't want to fall through the cracks against a Wizards team that absolutely is terrible. No need to overthink it. Just take the Heat on the money line today. I'm not going to lay the 6, 7, 8 points that they've given us on the books. Just take them on the money line, and then we'll be good to go. All right, for our third and final game, we're going Kent State in the MAC Conference. They're taking on the Buffalo Bulls, and I don't know if you guys know anything about the Buffalo Bulls, but they suck, okay? Ranked 343rd on KenPom, which is like worst of all the college basketball teams. They're 2-18 on the year. They only have 1 win against a D1 opponent all year long, and that came back on January 2nd, their first game in conference play against Central Michigan. Since then, they have lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in a row since that game. They're, like I mentioned, 2-18 on the year. Kent State should be able to pick up this win. They're only 3-5 in conference, but this is the game that they really need to win to stay in pace there on that MAC Conference. Only 10-11 on the year for Kent State, but for me, I really like Kent State in this matchup just because Buffalo Bulls are just that bad. We've been fading them a lot this year inside the Discord group, so I'm going to continue to fade them here. Don't overthink it. They haven't won against D1 opponents all year. Only 1 win, like I said. So for me, just take Kent State on the money line, take Golden State on the money line, and then take the Heat on the money line. That wraps us up today for our 3-team steam at plus 100 value. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. 3 best bets, 3 winners that are headed your way on this Friday card. We have got the Hawks and Suns over. We've got the Kings and Pacers under. And then we've also got the Warriors, Heat, and Kent State moneyline parlay. For some more of my best bets, picks, and plays, and if you want an angle on that Iowa matchup today, because I know some people are on that Iowa game, or people want to know about that Butler and Creighton game, make sure you click the link in the bio, join the free Discord group so you guys get some of those other picks and plays, and also some of the added player props that we'll have as well in the NBA. All right, my friends? We have to kind of wait for the injury report to wait on some of those player props for me personally. So if you want some of those other picks, just make sure you guys join the Discord group. All right, my friends? I'll see you guys tomorrow, maybe for another quick short. We've got a full college basketball slate tomorrow, over 140 games tomorrow. So you guys know we're going to be in the lab and we're going to run it up. All right, my friends? Appreciate all the love and support. And as always, dictate your fate, get to that money, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Later, gang.